Yeah, well, if it isn't soon, it's going to be even worse because the longer it drags, once you're past 70 or 75, what are you living for anyway? Just not what didn't fall off today? What the fuck didn't go wrong today? And that's going to be your glory moment. Everything didn't go wrong. I remembered where my keys were, and I didn't burn the house down. And, I mean, you're going to be absolutely happy because you're not totally failing. I mean, what the fuck is that? How pitiful can life get? That you're going to cling to it so desperately that the only thing that's going to matter is, I was able to get the butter on the bread. Yeah, it was great. It was glorious. I buttered my bread.
Yeah, this whole need to life affirm just makes me really sick. I mean, I'm getting older now, and I'm starting to fall apart, and I'm finally starting to get to the point where my unrealistic hopes aren't constantly dialoguing in the back of my mind. And I'm looking at myself now, and I'm thinking, I could just fucking drop dead today, and it's fucking meaningless. And everything that society is built on, and everything that people's hopes are built on, and this mythology that keeps us going, or these multiple mythologies, are all such bullshit. And if we could just see ourselves as just like these, the way most people look at animals, just kind of these transient phenomena that pop up for a while for no fucking good reason, and then just fucking fall down into the dirt again, maybe we get some fucking common sense in our heads, and we decide not to put our offspring through that kind of a thing.
Again, yeah, but isn't this the irony of it again? Because it's like now I have more purpose in living than I did 30 years ago. Because 30 years ago I was spouting not this exact thing, but pretty close to it. I mean, I was really big for, I was arguing for, reforms of a lot of things, and the whole, let's tone this all down, let's slow it down. But, I didn't see any purpose because, I was a voice in nowhere. And so now they give you a little bit of a voice, and you have a little bit of a peep, and you're saying, well, but maybe I could do something. Maybe I could inspire the next Martin Luther King. Even if you can't be the thing, you're thinking, maybe I'll be the seed. Maybe I'll be the Johnny Appleseed guy, and I'll, put a turd in the right place, and it'll fertilize the right little tree, and, something will grow out of it. And so it's like, I'm almost irritated, because it's like, I almost feel like, well, you're kind of responsible now, and you kind of, you have to go out and do this new job, and it's just a little bit irritating because I'm finally done with the life passion thing. I mean, I'm not done chasing girls, but I'm done worrying about whether I catch any. But, fuck this.
Yeah.
This idea now is just kind of funny that now when I'm as most hopeless as possible on a personal level, I have the most purpose as a human being.
Well, the way I look at it as far as any of my efforts toward antinatalism are concerned is just that I just want to, I don't really have any unrealistic beliefs about how much I'm changing the world, but I kind of see it as a little snowball, and I just want to add whatever I can to this snowball, and I mean, I know the odds are high that anyone will ultimately ever listen to this message, but on the other hand, why not? I mean, the chances are less than zero, and while I'm
but the prize is so big. That's the thing, it's like so much that you're fighting for. Like so much is hanging in the balance. You know what I mean? Like you're just saying, like they say you're a soldier in World War II, and you've got to make this calculation. Well, I mean, the war might depend on me. Maybe I have to just now jump over the edge of this hump and run across that field and shoot them fuckers, or we lose the war. I mean, this is, you got the reality of these calculations where, it could be preposterously silly, but in a way it could be damn right true that, the butterfly thingy and the rest of that crap, like you're going to have an influence, and maybe through some bizarre chain of events, your influence could mean something. And so what are you going to do with it? Because like I said, when you think of how much is at stake, I mean, the difference between the human race fighting through its whole cockroach future which could be thousands of years of cockroachville, the worst kind of human living. And preventing that would be such a huge, that's bigger than penicillin. I mean, that's big. We're talking big, big, big.
No, I agree, and that's the thing. I mean, the chances of my making an impact are pretty small. On the other hand, the rewards are great, and what have I got to lose at this point? I might as well, at this point in my life, I might as well speak my mind and, hope for the best. And maybe, I'm still hoping maybe that mad scientist out there will, I don't know if there's a book by Frank Herbert, the guy that wrote Dune, called The White Plague, and this scientist has the IRA accidentally blows up his family, and to get revenge, he goes down to his basement, and he manufactures a disease that basically sterilizes everybody, and
yeah, that's a little too much to hope for, but
why not? You never know.
I'm kind of, my hopes are more like, somebody, nuclear submarine, works it out, starts the end of the world, that kind of, I just don't, but yeah, I'm all for it. Somebody comes up with a little nanotechnology that does the job, that would be great, little DNA eater, little nano DNA eater, and it just wipes out every living thing on Earth.
No, I'm telling you, that would be awesome. I mean, that's my greatest wish.
Yeah, the dreams that get you through the night. Yeah. I can't wait till the human race gets eaten by the nanobots. It'll be glorious, glorious.
Honestly, I agree with you. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, my friggin' ultimate wet dream is to imagine that someday this planet is just a barren rock and suffering is gone.
Yeah, it just crashes. The moon takes the wrong turn. Splits the thing in half, and all the pieces fall into the sun. Yep, I'm happy with that. That's a good end. Make it hard, quick. It's like that tidal wave scene in whatever that movie was with the asteroids hit. And there was this girl, and she goes to see her father, and a big tidal wave's coming. And they're standing on the beach. And you're just saying that look, the human race just has to grow up and accept that's what's happening. Okay, it's tidal wave time. It's over. The game is stupid. Just let it go. It's just tidal wave and get it over with.
The most amazing thing to me is that evolution, in its drive to extend itself into our future, has somehow come along with this capacity for perception, self-awareness, that we can realize that the game is really a no-winner, and that evolution could actually, through us, decide to commit suicide.
Yeah, well, that's the game, though. See, I mean, it gave us these tools because they were advantageous. So it was good to know how to play hopscotch. It was good to know how to play checkers. The catch was, to know how to play those two games meant you learned how to play them. And that meant you could figure out chess. And so then we could figure out the chess. We could figure out the game of the game. We could game the game. And it's just because they gave us a modeling intelligence, and just a little bit too much of a modeling intelligence, and you become too big a grown-up for tic-tac-toe. You just can't play tic-tac-toe anymore, right? You don't play tic-tac-toe anymore, right? Because you're too grown up. You can't play it. It's a stupid game. You say it's a stupid game. I can't play it anymore.
There's a guy, I think mid-1800s, named Philip Mainlander, and he imagined, he kind of dreamed up his own mythology, kind of kooky in a way, but good as a metaphor. He saw existence as that God was stuck out there in infinite existence, and he saw it was a no-win deal, and he wanted to kill himself. and to do this, he manifested himself into our kind of physical reality so that he could die over and over again and someday come to such an awareness that he could kill himself ultimately. And pretty interesting metaphor, you know. And I think did we lose you?
No, just getting a drink. Yeah, coffee. Cooking now. Yeah, I just don't like metaphors that have too much of that sadistic crap in them, you know. So people, you know, it's almost that stoic shit. Like, yeah, we rolled the boulder up the hill 6 billion times, and we finally figured out, oh yeah, it runs over our foot on the way down. Yeah, so, but it was glorious. Yeah, because we all made money on foot bandages, and we all made money selling those size 17 shoes. You know, that kind of bull. I mean, I hate the happy ending to the ludicrous stupidity kind of metaphor. That just pisses me off.
Well, what I liked about it was that it talks about coming to an awareness of our... It's not like Sisyphus, where I think the existentialists of last century really make a mistake because they realize that existence is absurd, but then their answer to that is just, really, man, like really get into the absurdity, dude, and it's really cool if you can just accept the absurdity.
Yeah, ride the wave, man. Ride the wave.
But I like Mainlander's idea that, no, it's not that. It's that we go beyond, we realize our absurdity and we fucking do something about it, and we end ourselves. And ending ourselves through non-procreation it's a great way to go. If we love our lives for whatever reason, we can still go on and we can live our lives and we can do whatever we feel is productive as a human being to do, and yet we can still acknowledge that bringing new life into existence is morally problematic, and that we can just stop it. It's a simple act of stopping, not having kids.
I know, but it's not that simple because it's an act of rejecting a traditional way of living, you know, where you're going to do exactly what things did to you. You know, it's the definition of being human is you are raised and now you will raise. You know, you were built, so you will build, you know, and they can't step out of that blueprint. But, you know, the game is, you know, I mean, people keep running away from it, but I mean, you know, all it takes is 2 people, all right? 7 billion people now, and it all started with 1 human, okay? There was a first human that was given birth to, all right? You know, and that's all it takes. It just takes 2, and you got 7 billion. So, I mean, the point is there's no playing this, you know, I can't stop the game. I can't, you know, I've used my Frankenstein metaphor, but yeah, I'm Frankenstein's monster, and the monsters keep rolling down the hill. Well, the only way they can stop the game is they got to stop the thing making the Frankensteins. They can't personally say, I'm not going to give birth to Frankenstein. Well, yeah, shit, of course you're not Frankenstein, because you're Frankenstein. You got to stop those other fuckers.
Have you happened to read or heard about Nick Bostrom's idea about killing death? He's a futurist. He's pretty big on the internet.
Killing who? Johnny Depp? I don't think there's any point in killing Johnny Depp. You know, I mean, he's a mediocre actor, but you know, he's kind of cute and such. Has a charm about him.
You know, this guy's named Nick Bostrom, and he wrote a story. It's on the internet. You can look it up. About a dragon that killed everybody that came to him, and this was a metaphor for death. And his solution, of course, was that you keep fighting the dragon forever and ever, and eventually you kill the dragon. Of course, this is the futurist hope, is that someday we'll kill the dragon, thus ending death, thus ending disease and general suffering. And yet the antinatalist solution is so much easier.